Let's fucking go!
Let's fucking go.
Hey guys, welcome back. And yes, I am very excited this time around for the new Jack Wolf Knives drop, because what we're going to be seeing is something familiar to many, although it's still going to be something new. That sounds kind of weird, but I'll explain that in just a second. First, let's do a quick time lapse and we rip it into this so we can see all the packaging without wasting too much time, and then get into why this is one of the most exciting Jack Wolf releases of the year. What we're looking at today is the brand new mini Cyborg Jack. And the reason why I'm so excited is because one of my favorites in the entire lineup was the original Cyborg, which I have right here. Now, when I say it's familiar, it's because it's based off of Ben's original design of the Cyborg. And why it's a little bit different is because it's a new size. He's never made a mini Cyborg, and I think that's pretty cool. As a matter of fact, the only matching set where there's a regular size and a mini is the Big Bro and Little Bro. So this is another kind of big deal when it comes to those of us that are obsessed with collecting within this brand. Another thing that I love is it's got a little bit of nostalgia for me, because my very first experience with Jack Wolf knives, the very first knives that I got, was the Cyborg here and the Low Drag. I got both of those at the exact same time, so it's impossible to say, oh, I got that one first and I got this one second. I guess it was just the order in which I opened the packaging, but I don't remember what that was. But the Cyborg was an instant favorite. I loved the aggressive design of it because, again, the whole idea behind Jack Wolf knives is taking classic, timeless designs and in these slip joints and modernizing them. And generally, it's going to be, the modernization is going to be in the fact that it's got dark and blasted titanium. The covers are done in more modern carbon fibers and other materials, that it's upgraded into now S90V stainless steels. But with the Cyborg broke the mold. The Cyborg is not based off of any established patterns in the slip joint world. This was completely designed by Benjamin Belkin. For those that are new to the brand, Ben is the owner and creator and designer of Jack Wolf Knives. And this one is completely out of his mind. It's not based on anything else. And I like this slightly more aggressive kind of futuristic look that the Cyborg has. Now you take that great look and you make it just a little bit smaller. And I realize for a lot of people that going smaller may not have been their first choice, because the Cyborg already feels like a small knife. As a matter of fact, I had believed for the longest time that this was the smallest Jack Wolf that I had in my collection. And then I said that one day in one of my videos. And then I laid out some other Jack Wolves right next to it. I think it was a Javelina and a couple others anyway. But they were almost just about the same size. And the only one that was really remarkably different in size was the Vampire. And it really wasn't that much bigger. But there's something about the design of this knife that makes it appear smaller than it really is. And I just don't understand what it is. So here now is a mini version of that same knife. Guess it would help if I put it in frame so you can see that. The other big difference, besides the fact that you're going to have different choices in your finishes and not your finishes, but your covers, is the fact that now you're able to get different blade finishes. I happen to have chosen the hand-rubbed satin. There's also going to be one that I think a lot of people are going to appreciate, and that's going to be the plain tie that has no covers or no scales, whatever you want to call them. And that blade is bead blasted just like the frame. And if I'm not mistaken, that's the first time that's been offered by Ben. I don't really remember. There may have been one or two others, but it hasn't been an option that I jumped on, so it's not in the forefront of my mind. But the big difference, you've got the belt satin here, which you see is that nice vertical satin. And then here, do this without stabbing myself with the pokey tip, you see that hand rub satin. So very, very different. Although they are ground exactly the same with that super deep hollow grind. Let's get into the specs very quickly before I get carried away with how I feel about the knife and how I feel about this combination. First off, this is the version with the chaotic resin. Your frame is all 6AL4V dark blasted titanium. Hardware is all titanium. You have titanium Torx. Your blade is hollow ground S90V. So that means you're going to get an extraordinarily long edge life, and you're going to get superior corrosion resistance. Your blade length is 2.69 inches. The closed length, the entire knife when it's closed, is 3.6 inches. Cutting edge, after you eliminate the measurement for the sharpening choil, you're looking at 2.4 inches. And your blade stock, this is 120 thou thick, and the weight is 2 ounces. I dig it. I really, really dig it. And it just dawned on me that I should probably bring out another knife for comparison, not just the full-size Cyborg, even though that's probably what most of you were interested in. The only other time that Ben has done this was the Big Bro and Little Bro, and I should probably bring those out so that you have an idea, if you own those knives, is the Cyborg, the mini Cyborg, that huge of a difference from the Cyborg, and is it pretty much in the same ratio as Big Bro to Little Bro? I think we should do that right now. Starting things off with the Big Bro. Let's get that opened up. And funny enough, it's almost identical in size to the original Cyborg. So there again, it's always looked deceivingly small, but it's not. So then we have Cyborg full size, Big Bro, Cyborg mini, and Little Bro. Hey, what a coincidence. The Little Bro is pretty much identical in size to the mini Cyborg. So there you have it. And to make this make even more sense to you, let's do this. Let's back these up, put them butt to butt as everything in life should be. And then we take Big Bro and Little Bro, and we do that. So you see that the ratios are the same. This is ever so slightly. It looks like about a half an inch smaller than its larger brother, and that looks like it's just about the same. So, match set here, match set here. I think it works out pretty darn well. And yeah, I still love both the big bro and little bro, but there are different times that I'll carry these. And there are different ways that I will carry them as well. And I'll be getting into that in a future video on my A to Z EDC channel as I cover more things than just knives and flashlights over there. But suffice it to say, this will fit into things and areas that this one is just more of a tight squeeze. And no, get your mind out of the gutter. I'm not talking about my ass. Move those out of the way. And put these right back front and center. Can I zoom in on those and still have them centered? Yeah, no, but I'll work with it anyway. Okay, so my overall thoughts on this are, I knew I liked the idea, but I wasn't 100% sure. And then it arrived, and I pulled it out to do some photography. And I went, wow, I really do like this. And it has the same... Scratch that. It itches the same, it scratches the same itch, I suppose, as the original does. Being very aggressive looking, very different from all other standard slip joints. Again, here is a, typical run-of-the-mill slip joint. Very classic pattern. And that is, of course, based on a traditional pattern as well. These have a different feel and flavor to them. That's all there is to it. Let the purple show, man. Love the purple. So that's your biggest difference is, it's like when you buy a house and you're trying to furnish that house, you're trying to decide, what style is it going to be inside? What kind of furniture are you going for? Are you going for something classic? You're going for something modern? And that's always a very difficult decision to make, especially if you're married and you're arguing about it and back and forth. It's not an easy decision to make. So that's what you're doing here by getting into the Cyborg. You're deciding, do I want to break away from the norm and have something that's super modern looking, even though it's executed like any other slip joint and it operates like any other slip joint? What I've got is something that's wildly different. And to make it more wildly different is the chaotic resin, which, by the way, I absolutely love. This is my second Jack Wolf with chaotic resin, and I think it's fantastic. This time around, it's kind of the Joker colors. You've got that acid green with the deep purple, the white, and the black, and it just works, man. I honestly wish mine had more white in it. I love the colors that I've got, but there's something about having more white in it. I looked at the one that Ben pulled for himself, and he has a lot of white in his. And I'm like, oh man, I hope mine has a whole bunch of white. And it doesn't, but it doesn't mean I don't love it. But I will say this, if I come across somebody that has one of these and they have a little more white in theirs and they're like, hey, I wish I had more color, I will switch with them. I will swap with them probably very, very quickly. So overall, I guess I should talk about the pull and the walk and talk. Let's give you a close-up. Let's put this close up to the microphone so you can hear the walk and talk. I'm going to go ahead and close it. We'll start from opening. Sounds fantastic. The pull is definitely a little bit heavier than what you're used to with most of the Jack Wolf knives. Now, that could be in part the size of the blade, because you have less to grab onto. So it might feel like you're having to pinch extra hard. So it might make you feel like you're pulling harder, even though you're actually not. But I could tell my Cyborg has a lighter pull than the mini Cyborg does. So just be aware of that. If you like more of a medium pull, like the regular Cyborg, this might be a little heavier than what you typically buy. keep that in mind. Is that the same way for the big and little bros? So yeah, the big bro feels like the regular Cyborg does, and no, the little bro still is just as easy to open. And so this is a little bit stiffer. So somehow, as it shrunk down, maybe the back spring, the proportions didn't change that much, and or by changing the proportions and maybe not thinning it somewhere, it makes it stronger. I don't know. I have never engineered a slip joint. But it is definitely a stronger pull by a noticeable amount. Not significant, but noticeable. Fit in the hand? Of course, obviously, it's going to be smaller. Duh, it's called the friggin' Mini. What did you expect? But it's not too tiny. And you guys know I have big, big hands, even though you've always seen them at this weird angle that I have my camera at. I wear large to extra large riding gloves for motorcycle gloves, and my hand generally wraps around things very easily. Here's a great example of that. So I can hide a lot of things in my hands, but they're not enormous hands. So let's say you have a Cyborg. You know how the Cyborg looks in your hand. This is how the Cyborg is in my hand. And now we take that out and we look at the mini Cyborg. It's a difference, but it's not a tremendous difference. I dig this. I like this. And I think this is going to be one that, while I carry my Cyborg often, it's one that I tend to carry in the slip, and it goes in the pocket with me, and it will be, secondary to my primary folder that I'll have in my pocket, and maybe also a fixed blade if I feel like carrying that many knives. If I am carrying around a pack of some sort, backpack, sling bag, something like that, EDC bag, then this is probably going to live in the one that I carry the most, which right now the one that's in there is my OG vampire, my red lava flow vampire. So I think that's probably going to come out, and this is going to probably take its place. This feels as slim and trim as the low drag jack. So if you're a fan of the low drag, but you like this design, this overall shape and look better, this profile, man, you are gonna be in love. So it takes what I think is already a pretty sleek design in the Cyborg and slims it down and sleeks it down just a little bit more. This is going to be an instant fan favorite. As soon as these go live, I know that they're going to sell. Here is the live date right here. That's when dealers will have them live. Remember, with Jack Wolf knives, it's a monthly drop. None of these are ever pre-orders. That's it. They're never pre-orders. They're always live, and they're always sold through authorized dealers. So when these drop, I expect them to sell pretty quickly, and I'm going to make a guess that the Chaotic is going to be the first to sell out. And later on, when these are all gone on the secondary market, it's going to be the Chaotic that everybody wants. So just like the Vampire, everybody wants the Lava Flow. They pay a premium for it. Just like on the Midnight Jack, everybody wants the Purple Haze. They pay a premium for it. That's what this one's going to be. Now, I'm not telling you that so that you buy a Chaotic that you may not like, and you're thinking, well, but Jim says it's going to be worth more money. No, I'm not. Don't ever buy a knife as an investment, you damn fool. But it stands to reason, as vibrant and wild and cool and different as the Chaotic is, that it may be the standout fan favorite. That's what I would put my money on. Just like I had ventured to guess very early on that the carbon fibers, the fat carbons and stuff, were going to be far more popular than the micartas, because he used to offer all these knives in a couple of choices of micarta and then a few choices in carbon fiber. And hey, guess who was right? Not saying that nobody likes micarta, but when you're talking in generalities here and you're talking the numbers, people went for the carbon fibers. In this Chaotic resin, the coolest thing about it is no two are alike. None. Ben could literally open up 20 of these cans right now, or tins I should say, and open them up, and all of them are going to look vastly different. From the swirls and the pattern to how much black, how much purple, how much green, how much white are in the patterns. And then also from side to side, they can't match either because they're all completely random pours. And I think I love that more than anything about them. But yeah, man, I dig the colors. Sometimes I want something low-key like this. Sometimes I want crazy bright colors. I mean, yeah, I like colors. I chose every single color on that, every single one, and where each color went, that's my thing. So every now and then, I really do appreciate colors. And I think there are a lot of people out there just like me. Oh my God, I hope not. I hope not just like me, but on this subject about liking some colorful things from time to time, yes, I think there are some people out there like me. So if there are, you need to be there at 2 p.m. Eastern. Do not miss that drop. All right, that's all I've got to say about that. Thank you guys for watching. As always, a little bit of housekeeping here. For those that don't know, YouTube has made it impossible for people to actually, for content creators to actually make money on YouTube anymore if we show items that they consider weapons, even though I have a table full of tools. So a lot of times we don't get monetized or our monetization gets yanked. I really don't do affiliate links. I've done it really once, and that's with Sofern for their flashlights because I really dig their product and I was using their product before I showed them to you. So that's kind of how I roll. I am not an affiliate with Jack Wolf Knives. I don't make any money no matter what you buy or don't buy. And the only link I ever put in my Jack Wolf videos are, here's a link to Jack Wolf Knives website for their dealer listing. And then you can go shop at dealers individually. You choose who you want to shop with. So what helps me is if you're subscribed, and I look at my analytics, and a lot of you that watch each of these videos are not subscribed. I have not done something to earn your subscription yet. Please let me know down below what I need to do to earn that subscription if you're not subscribed. And beyond that, yeah, clicking like and commenting on videos helps that stupid algorithm that YouTube uses. And once they see people are actually interested, they're interacting with this creator on this video, they'll put that video out in suggestions to more and more people. So that helps me, and I appreciate you for doing so. And that's about all I got to say about that. I don't like to come out here and beg for subs like every other YouTuber does in every category. Oh my God, it's super annoying to have to listen to it. But that's why I'm doing it at the end. That way, you know the review is done. Everything I have to say about this knife is done. You can tune out if you want to. But there you go. Thank you guys for watching. As always, I appreciate all of you, and I'll see you on the next video.